Hello YouTube and Facebook. Right after this I'll be back, and believe it or not, today we're gonna actually do a little serious, maybe just a little bit of humor, talk about politics, because it's kind of making the news now with all this corona stuff going around, and you know, the presidential stuff. So we're gonna have a little fun today and be a little serious, but basically have a lot of fun. So I will see you right after this. Hello YouTube and Facebook. As I said at the beginning, we're going to have a little fun, a little serious, but hopefully it'll be a good, entertaining video for you, I guess, depending upon which way you want to look at the political aspect. You know, which way you want to look will depend upon whether you like this video or not. So, before I do though, I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to shut off my lights, because it is kind of distracting, you know, the background a little bit. There we go. So, okay, here we go, I'm back. And so I guess we'll start out by saying that, you know, whether you vote for Trump or Sleepy Joe Biden, you know, whichever one you vote for, you know, hey, it's cool with me, because unlike a lot of people that are, you know, the never Trumpers, I call them, or a lot of people call them never Trumpers, a lot of people really get pissy with you when you discuss, you know, what we're going to be discussing. So if you're a never Trumper, you know, unless you're really in the mood to learn something, some actual legitimate news, you might want to stop this video now and move on your way and go to the next video of somebody else that hates Trump. Okay, so here we go. By the way, this is April. This is May the 1st. So 2020, day 49 of the stay at home. I don't know. Anyway, so we're gonna start with Joe Biden. And now, I don't like Joe, Sleepy Joe. The guy can't remember, you know, what happened yesterday hardly, and it's hard for him to put, you know, like more than, you know, he'll do a sentence but with 4 different subjects in him. So I guess it's kind of like, you know, maybe he's one of these people who combine everything, I don't know. But anyway, there's been allegations brought up against him about this woman that says that he sexually abused her. And here's my thought on it, and this is where I want everybody that is Trump supporters to remember. And that is, remember just about a year ago when, you know, Kavanaugh, was that a year ago? Yeah, when Kavanaugh, or was that 2 years ago? I think that might have been 2 years ago. I can't remember. This is quarantine stuff. Anyway, when Kavanaugh, it was last year, but when Kavanaugh was going to get ready to be put in, you know, the Democrats were really quick to jump the gun and say, oh, you know, Kavanaugh did it, you know, there's no doubt in our mind, and, you know, obviously he was proven innocent, but they were really quick to just jump aboard and say, hey, he's guilty no matter what, we know he is, you know, because he's, you know, liked by Donald Trump, so he's guilty. Well, guess what, he wound up being innocent. So this is what I'm going to say about Joe Biden, is that everybody, you know, that are, you know, Trump supporters, or even whether you're not, you know, don't assume that he's guilty. Yeah, don't do what Nancy Pelosi and all them losers last year did. Oh, he's guilty, you know, he's guilty. Because now that Biden is getting it, it's a reverse. You know, oh no, I believe in him, he didn't do it. You know, and that's good that they believe in him. But I think, you know, as far as like people who do support Trump, you know, just remember, you're innocent until proven guilty. Don't do what CNN and all those other crappy news, fake news medias, you know, you're guilty until proven innocent. So just remember, he's innocent until proven guilty. And, you know, don't do what they did last year. Let's show that we're better than they are by not just jumping the gun. So, I mean, really, I'm not going to, you know, it wouldn't really be cool to make jokes about something like this because it's serious, whether it's true or not. I mean, you know, and if you didn't do it, you know, it really doesn't matter, guys and gals, because even if, you know, like, say like he didn't do it and he's proven innocent, he's still not going to win in November. Trump's going to wipe up the floor with him. Yeah, there might be some states that shows where he's ahead in the polls, but you know, the polls, when Trump ran, they had him losing to Hillary big time. Well, guess what? That's why we are where we are now, because Donald Trump won. You know, he didn't listen to the polls, but the people spoke. So you got to remember that. I don't want to hear anything about that stupid Russia collusion crap either, because that was proven not to be true too. So see, that's what I'm saying about Joe Biden. You know, I mean, I'm not voting for him. Even if I did, even if I did, he wouldn't remember that I voted for him. So, but you know, just remember though that he is innocent until proven guilty. You know, let's be better than MSNBC and CBS and CNN and all those other fake news outlets. So let's just, you know, do that. Let's show that we're better. Let's show that we're better than they are, and we're not going to jump the gun and say, oh, he's guilty, he's guilty, he's guilty, because, you know, you don't want to do that. You know, just let's wait and see how things play out. Maybe she's telling the truth, or maybe she's, you know, lying. Like I said, that woman with Kavanaugh, or, you know, with Judge Kavanaugh, that woman had more holes in her story than Swiss cheese. So, you know, and he was proven to be innocent. So just remember that. And let's all not jump the gun on poor Joe. Well, not really poor Joe, but, you know, on Joe. But, anyway, and that's really all I'm going to say about all of that. I just think that everybody out there should show that we're better than what crappy news network and all that are. Oh, did I say crappy? I guess that would be CNN. But, so just remember though, he's innocent until proven guilty. So let's just, you know, keep that in mind. And let's show that we're better. Okay, now moving on. I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about these states that are opening up. Opening up all the way. I mean, our governor here in Ohio, he's kind of, you know, taking his time. And he's doing it slowly, which I think that's the way it should be. And he also said that if it shows that we're starting to spike, then he's going to shut everything back down again. So, you know, and we're probably not going to have much of a summer this year, guys. You know, it's not looking good. We might get to go out and eat by late summer, but there are going to be no mass gatherings, no sports, which means there is one plus, no sports. I mean, I'm not a big sports fan. So, yeehaw, I don't care. Let them cancel all the sports. But for the people who do like it, you know, I feel for you, unless you absolutely don't have a life and you live for sports and that's it, then oh well. But the plus side to this is no OSU football. Woohoo! There is a good side, and that's the only good side, because I can't stand the Ohio State. Don't like them. And you know, so at least if there's no football this year, they won't be able to make the news for doing something that they shouldn't be doing. I guess that's the only thing I want to say about that. You like my graffiti? That's my graffiti saying woohoo to no OSU. But anyway, so you know, looks like no sports, no Red, White, and Boom, no Jazz and Red Fest, no fairs, no festivals, no nothing, it looks like. So, and this stuff about calling the Chinese virus, calling it Trump virus, that's a bunch of bullshit. Because, okay, now here's the thing, I'm going to touch on this because I think this guy's a joke, and that's Jimmy Kimmel. That guy is the most uninformed jackass I've ever met in my entire life. I made the mistake of leaving my TV on, and he was talking about, well, you know, Trump knew about this in January and he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything in February. He didn't do anything in March, you know, until middle of March or whatever. And I thought, dude, if you're going to get out here and spew, you know, and tell stories, make sure that they're the fact, because guess what? The United States got its first case of the coronavirus here in the U.S. in the middle of January. And by January the 30th, or the 30th, you know, I think it was the 30th, he closed off the borders to China. And all these left-wingers like CNN and these conspiracy people and stuff were saying, oh, he's a germophobic, you know, he's a xenophobic, or whatever the heck that thing that they like to call him. Biden did the same thing. I'm surprised Biden was even able to pronounce the word. I mean, anyway. But, you know, Biden and all of them said, oh, you know, he's a xenophobic, and he, you know, he's making a mountain out of a molehill. Well, guess what? If he wouldn't have shut the borders January, pay attention, January, that we would be a lot worse off now than what we would have been. So, and then all of a sudden, they said he was acting too drastically, and then when he doesn't do things, he doesn't act soon enough. So, in other words, all these never-Trumpers and all these left-wingers, or whatever you want to call them, you know, it doesn't matter what the guy does. They're never going to find anything right that he does. The guy could cure cancer. He could cure the coronavirus, or he could, you know, or whatever he does, they're still going to find something wrong with it. So the guy can never do anything right in their eyes. So, you know, maybe you ought to take your glasses off. Hello, you can't see me. But anyway, I mean, he's not perfect. And this stuff about injecting yourself with Clorox, really? He did not tell people to go out and inject themselves. That's just fake news again, you know, putting words in his mouth. Now, the only mistake he made, and I guess, you know, he really shouldn't have thought out loud. He was thinking out loud, and he was actually asking one of the doctors about maybe being able to create something where you could eject into your body to help with the corona, or something like that. He did not tell people to go out and buy Clorox bleach or Lysol or any of that other garbage. And, you know, people, if they're going to say stuff, they really need to watch what he says, because he did not tell people to go out and do that. So sorry to disappoint y'all, but he did not. So it's just, you know, if you watch, I mean, I know people that will sit and they'll constantly watch CNN. And the only thing I will give CNN, it was a couple years ago, they did really good coverage on a hurricane. They were actually better than the Weather Channel. So, you know, I'll give them that. But as far as their news, you know, it's amazing. They couldn't find their ass if their hands were tied behind their back and their hands were facing in. They wouldn't be able to find their ass. So, well, I'm just saying. But anyway, enough about, you know, the, you know, CNN and stuff. But it's just amazing, though, how, you know, 1 minute, you know, they'll make jokes about something. I mean, you know, they were making, you know, on live TV, they were making fun of people who support Trump, you know, calling them a bunch of dumb, smelly Walmart shoppers and deplorables, and, you know, and they were laughing about it. And I was like, man, that's real good professional news broadcasting there, people. But that's why I don't watch them. I don't like them. And if you want to watch them, that's your choice. But, you know, just be prepared to be misinformed a lot. I think the most sense that they make is when they sign off. You know, like when each show is over, they'll say goodnight. That's probably about the only truth that they ever, and they probably don't even want you to have a good night. But who knows? But anyway, so that's, you know, my opinion on all that. And I don't like Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sorry. The guy, he's not funny. He's misinformed. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Because he said, oh, Trump didn't do anything until March. You know, maybe he ought to go back and do a little research and realize that Trump closed the border down to China on January the 30th. So, people really need to, like, if they're going to spew stuff out like that, they really need to do their research. But, I don't know. But to each their own. I mean, that's what makes America great is, you know, you have your choice. And if you really want to watch CNN and go by all their conspiracy garbage and stuff like that, then knock yourself out. But, you know, you're not going to get me on it. I'm not, you know, I may have been born at night, but it wasn't last night. Anyway, so enough about that. As far as the summer goes, it does look like, you know, like I said, we're not going to have much to do this summer. And some of these states are opening up everything all at once. In my opinion, of course, you know, who am I? I'm no politician or anything. But I think it's going to be like opening up the gates to hell. They're going to open up, and people are being stupid, not wearing masks and stuff like that. And it's just going to increase it again. That's what I think. And then people are really going to complain when we get shut back down and have to start all over again. So, you know, whether you like wearing them or not, I mean, do you think I like wearing a mask whenever I go out? No, I mean, but I do it because that's, you know, being suggested. So, you know, if you are going out and if you're going to be in public, you know, wear a mask. It's not that hard. You know, just put one on and you'll be all right. You can go in and do your shopping and go back home, and then you can take your mask off or whatever. But, you know, so just, you know, try to prevent this stuff from carrying on, because I really don't want to stay home for another year. So, I don't know. But anyway, I'm not going to make this too much longer. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really wanted to touch on. Oh, I guess now the thing is dogs can get corona. That's what they're saying. If there's somebody that has corona, that their dog could get it. So, I don't know. I mean, everything is, I admit, everything is kind of confusing, because back in March, the CDC was saying, no, don't go out and buy a mask. You know, don't go out and buy a mask. You don't, you know, they're not going to do you any good. Don't wear them. And now all of a sudden, buy a mask, wear it. So, I mean, I understand that, you know, that they're finding out more and more about the, you know, about the coronavirus. So, you know, like if you go out, just wear a mask. It's not, you know, or get a bandana. I just bought a bunch of bandanas, and I got a mask coming to me in the mail, and you know, and all that. So, you know, I'm good. And I really don't mind wearing a mask when I go outside. Of course, I may not like it when it's about 95 degrees, but guess what? If I want to go out, it's just what I'm going to have to do. And I know a lot of these younger people, they probably think they're invincible, and, you know, they're not used to being told no. You know, mommy and daddy never told them no. They always got what they wanted. And so now that the government is telling people to stay at home, they don't like being told what to do because they're not used to it. Well, build a bridge and get over it, because you need to, you know, I mean, I've been outside and I've seen a lot of people that were younger, and they're not wearing masks, and they're, you know, gathering in bigger groups and walking together and stuff like that. And then I've even heard a few people snicker at me because, you know, I was wearing a mask. Look at him, he's wearing a mask. Like, yeah, well, guess what? I'm still gonna wear one, whether you like it or not. Of course, I always make jokes. Like, you know, like if you wear a bandana. Of course, I don't know how many people would remember the old westerns, you know, when people would go in to rob a bank, you know, they'd wear the bandana. So I always determined that whenever I go into a bank, you know, like when they start opening back up the actual branches again to where you can go into the bank, I will wear a regular mask. I will not wear a bandana because, you know, it's kind of reminds you of that movie, The Apple Dumpling Gang, and all that stuff. You know, the bank robbers wearing masks and stuff. But so I'll just wear a regular mask going into the bank whenever I need to go. So anyway, I guess that's about all. Oh, I do have to share this joke that I saw on Facebook because I shared it. It's kind of going back to the political thing. And this person wrote, so the stay-at-home order, you know, for, you know, where you can have mass gatherings could be 10 people or less. And the joke is, well, that's not fair because that means Joe Biden can hold his rallies, but that, you know, Donald Trump can't. Which is, you know, pretty much true, because if you ever watch a Joe Biden rally when he's not falling over his shoestrings and, you know, forgetting what he's running for. Let's see, one week he was running for the president, see? And then about a week later he goes, yeah, I could beat Ronald Reagan for the Senate. It's like, really? Ronald Reagan's been gone for a while, bud, and, you know, the Senate? Oh, boy. So, here's a question, though. What if Joe Biden forgot that Bernie Sanders dropped out and he drops out? Would that make Trump the clear-cut winner then, or how would that work? I would hope somebody would remind poor Sleepy Joe that he, well, technically he's still in the race. I don't think there's going to be much of one, but I think what, you know, I don't know. It's hard telling what people are thinking. But poor Joe, I mean, I don't know. There was one Democratic possible. I thought, well, he might be okay, and if he would have been more successful, you know, he'd be a lot better off than what we would, you know, than what we would be with Joe, or what y'all would be with Joe, the ones that are supporting him. I can't remember his name, but he was from Ohio. He was, you know, seemed like he was willing to work with both sides. But man, some of these left people are so far left that you can't. There's no hope for them. There's no chance of pulling back in, at least a little bit, to be a little bit more neutral or whatever. But so anyway, so I guess I will end with that. So I don't know what I'm going to call this video yet. I'll have to think of kind of a flashy name. Maybe I'll just call it Talking Politics or something. So I don't know. I'll think of a nice catchy name. Usually I do stuff like update what I've been doing during the coronavirus, you know, the stay-at-home stuff. But I didn't want to be too repetitive, so I decided this week that I would just kind of touch on politics. So I don't know. All I can say is vote red, vote red, vote red. But here's a thought. Now and then I'm going to end. Here's a thought. You know how each political party is represented by an animal, and before we even get to the animals, do you realize that, you know, they call the right, when, you know, like Trump supporters, right, you know, far to the right, and then they call the Biden supporters far to the left. Well, guess what? Right is right. That means that makes them right. You know, left is, you know, so. But anyway, getting back to the animals, did you ever notice that, let's see, the Republicans are represented by an elephant, which is immovable. But guess what the Democrats are represented by? In case you don't know, a jackass. Yep, their animal is a donkey. Jackass. I like jackass much better. Because you got people, oh man, I wonder if I could still do this. Let me see here. Hold on. I got to do this because I was going to do this before. And oh yes, I can do it, I think. Let me see here. Maybe. Let's see. Oh boy. Oh, let me see here. I may not be able. Oh yeah, no. Let's see. Well, shoot. I may not be able. Oh yes, I can. Oh yes, I can. Oops, there we go. All right. Now, let's see. Let's do this right. Okay. Now, as you can tell, I got my groovy shades on. Now I'm gonna do my imitation of a Democratic person in the Senate or whatever. Now you tell me who you think this is. Are you ready? Okay, hold on. Let me go over here so I can get out of the way. There, can you see? Can you see? Who am I? Schumer. Chuck Schumer. Remember Mr. Magoo? He always looks like Mr. Magoo. He always wears his glasses down like this. And then mine fall off. So, Chuck Schumer. Let's see. Let's do this again. Okay. Me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I don't know. There. Chuck Schumer. That makes a good profile picture. Let's see. Wait a minute. There we go. That's my Chuck Schumer imitation. I'm not even going to try to talk like him because I can't talk bullshit. So anyway, alright. Well, that's all I'm going to do for today. So everybody remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully all the Trump supporters out there watch me, and maybe some of the people who didn't support Trump might decide to turn the tide and come over, or you'll stay over as, what was the Star Wars thing? Oh yeah, they'll stay over on the dark side. So, alright. Everybody have a great day. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it if you think it's worth sharing. So, alright. Everybody have a great day, and peace. See you next week.